welcome back to the channel. My name is Lisa Elvin Stoltari, and I'm a professional genealogist and a passionate traveler. We are currently exploring Les Filles à Marier, the marriageable girls. I began this parallel series after my Filles du Roi series began. The marriageable girls began in 2023 as a series, and Les Filles du Roi began a few years before that. There are fewer filles à marier. There's 262. Today we're doing number 110, so we're almost at the halfway mark with that particular series. But before we begin, let me show you ways that you can support the channel. The first three keep you in the know. Subscribe, which is free and costs you nothing, helps out in the YouTube land that I live in. And then we have the like, which helps also in the algorithms and makes sure that the word gets out, if you will. And then we also have the notify, which is kind of a personal, just for you kind of thing, where you know that I posted something new. And if you want to go deeper and bigger, we do have ways that you can support the channel and make it grow and help the channel itself. We have now the YouTube memberships. We have 4 different memberships. They begin at $99, $4.99, $9.99, and $24.99. And each one of them offers different perks. You can explore that by clicking on the link in the notes. And we also have the super thanks that you can do and choose the amount. And then we have on my website, Have Roots Will Travel, we have a PayPal button that you can choose to donate to the cause as well. So thank you to all of you who have done so. And without further ado, let's get on with the show. Today's episode of Les Filles à Marier is episode 110, Marie Simon. Let's get to know Marie a little bit better. Marie was born in 1625 in Moléon, France. Her parents were François Simon, who was a wealthy merchant, and Louise Armoine. She's born in the Nouvelle-Aquitaine region of France, and inside of that region, she is part of the Deux-Sèvres département or county. Now, Moléon is home to the Église, the Church Saint-Jouin, a church with origins dating back to the 12th century that you can see on the top right of your screen. It was originally constructed in a very Romanesque style, but it underwent a significant reconstruction in the 16th century, kind of adopting a more Gothic element. And further expansions occurred in the 19th century. So this is a church that it truly has withstood the test of time. And Moléon is known for its medieval Château de Moléon that you can see on the bottom of your screen, and its role in the French Wars of Religion. It blends such rich history with incredible landscapes of rolling hills and farmland along the Way River. The town is famous for shoemaking, espadrilles, and agriculture, and its culture reflects both the French and the Basque influences celebrated throughout festivals and historic sites. Marie would arrive in New France in 1644 after her father's passing. The groom that she selected and who selected her, his name, Claude Larcheveque, and he was born in 1620 in Grugny, France. His parents were Guillaume Larcheveque and Jeanne Allaire. Now let's have a look at where he's from. He's from Normandy, and inside of Normandy, he is part of the Seine-Maritime département or county. There are about 1,000 people that live there currently. This is a very small rural commune in this area, and it's known for the agricultural landscape and very traditional Norman charm. And it's truly medieval roots, influenced by both Viking settlers and the Norman culture. Now, the église that he would have been probably baptized in was Église Saint-Avoine de Grugny, and I've listed some links as well for you to see. It dates back to the 13th century, so it is truly, again, another church that has withstood the test of time. Think about it. All of these churches in France were so affected by so many wars. The fact that any of them survived is a testament to the strength of the French people. Now, they would be married in 1645 on February 6th, actually. And this would tell us for sure that they would have arrived the year before because no ships would have arrived in February of 1645. So both of them presumably were arrived in that time period of 1644. So they would make their home at Quebec City. Let's review a little about this capital city. 500,000 people live directly in Quebec City now. Originally, it was named by the Algonquins because in their native language, Quebec means where the river narrows, and Quebec City lies where the St. Lawrence River narrows. Samuel de Champlain founded a French settlement here in 1608 and called it Ville de Quebec. The city walls which surround it still date back to this time period, making Quebec City the only city with remaining city walls north of Mexico. There is so much to see in Quebec City, but I've chosen a few things that I wanted to really point out. On the top right, we have the Maison Jacquette. This house is the oldest surviving private residence in Quebec, and it dates from 1675. And if you'd like to tour it, it's home to a very famous restaurant, appropriately called Aux Anciens Canadiens, roughly translated to our old Canadians. And then we have, right here in the middle, we have the famous Plains of Abraham, Les Plaines d'Abraham, and this is part of where that famous battle took place. And in 1759, where someone took over Quebec. So this is part of a very historic area. And now inside, this bottom one is kind of showing you those city walls and how it was fortified. And on the bottom here, we have what is known as Le Petit Champlain, which is claimed to be the oldest commercial district in North America. And this is just an artist's illustration of what Quebec City may have looked like during that period. They would go on to have 8 children. We have Jean, who would marry Marianne Pousset, a fille du roi actually, who we have not yet profiled. And they would have 4 children, all of whom would make it to adulthood. Jacques would marry Madeleine Leguet and would have 4 children, all of whom would make it to adulthood. Madeleine was also a fille du roi who we have not yet done. He then married Madeleine Ayotte, and with whom he would have 8 children, 6 of whom would make it to adulthood. Henri would marry Marie-Madeleine Trepanier and would have 2 children, both of whom would make it before his early death. Anne-Marie would pass away in infancy. Jacqueline would also pass away. François would die without leaving any descendants. Pierre would die in infancy. And finally, Jean would marry Catherine Delaunay and have 5 children, all of whom would make it to adulthood. Catherine's mother was Catherine Bénard, a fille mariée that we have not yet profiled. Claude would pass away tragically on the 5th of May, 1659, upon returning from a trip to Ile d'Orléans. Here's where her story takes on an unusual twist. She would return to France sometime before the 1667 census. She would not have yet reached the age of 40, and she left us such a legacy. We believe that she would pass away in France, possibly trying to settle family business there. But her sons would carry on, and we have Jean with his wife, and then he actually says, ses frères Jacques, Henri, and Jean were all there, leaving a legacy to carry on. And they have 5 beasts, which are 5 cows or 5 animals of some kind, and then 40 about 35 acres of land that they had together, possibly from their inheritance. She would leave us with 213 descendants. Just amazing life. This story was really one that was unusual. First of all, because Marie came so early on, and she founded a family that really continued on. And having lost her husband, she chose to go back to France. Now, there's a bit of a mystery here. We're not sure if she chose to move or just happened to pass away during that time. We don't know. But we do know that she left a lasting legacy. So thank you, Marie, for being here for such a short time and leaving such a large imprint. So we are so ever so grateful and thankful, and we are blessed by your presence. And I am also very grateful to my patrons and supporters for their support and belief in my channel and in me. And I really can't thank you enough for always being there. And with that being said, let's see you on the next episode of Les Filles Mariées. Until then, au revoir.